Right now, there are exactly 10 cities in America where home buyers have finally gained the upper hand. But there are still 5 cities where sellers rule with an iron fist. We've been tracking this shift for months, and what we discovered will change how you think about timing your next move. In the next few minutes, we'll reveal all 15 cities, show you the shocking data behind this divide, and explain why this window won't stay open much longer. We discovered something shocking about Miami that's going to change how you think about Florida real estate forever. We'll get to that in just a moment. There's also one surprising Northeast city that just flipped to a buyer's market, and we guarantee it's not the one you're thinking of. We'll reveal which one later. And perhaps most importantly, there's a specific salary threshold that determines whether you can actually afford to buy in today's seller's market. The number might shock you, and we'll break down exactly what you need to earn by city. Look, what we're seeing, according to Redfin's latest data, represents the strongest buyer's market since we started tracking this stuff. For the first time in years, buyers actually hold majority negotiating power. But here's the thing, this isn't happening everywhere, and understanding these market divisions could literally save you tens of thousands of dollars or help you maximize your selling potential. The cities where buyers are finally taking control. All right, let's dive into the most dramatic shift first. Remember that shocking Miami discovery I mentioned? Here it is. Median listing prices in Miami have crashed nearly 19% over the past 3 years. I know that sounds impossible, but we verified this through multiple sources. 19%. Think about that for a second. In a city where sellers have been laughing all the way to the bank for years, inventory has exploded to 9.7 months of supply. That's the highest in the entire nation, according to Realtor.com data. Now, Miami isn't some isolated case. Austin, Texas. Remember when everyone was moving there during the pandemic? Well, 33% of listings got price cuts just this past June. We're talking about prices down 15% year over year, with 7.7 months of supply, giving buyers the kind of negotiating power they haven't had in a decade. Here's where you can actually sit across from a seller and make demands in 2025. Look, Florida is absolutely crushing it for buyers right now. Miami, 143% more sellers than buyers, 9.7 months supply. Fort Lauderdale, 128% more sellers than buyers. Inventory has gone completely haywire. West Palm Beach, 116% more sellers than buyers. Orlando, 6.9 months supply, officially declared a buyer's market. Tampa, 6.3 months supply. Texas joining the party. Austin, 131% more sellers than buyers. Price is actually down 5% year over year. San Antonio, 111% more sellers than buyers. Inventory up 53% versus pre-pandemic levels. And here's where it gets really interesting. Buffalo, New York, average home price, $224,133, with 28% of homes selling below list. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, median price, $198,272, with 57% selling below asking. Grand Rapids, Michigan, average $275,310, with 50% selling below asking price. Here's what happened, and we need you to understand this because it explains everything we're seeing right now. The pandemic construction boom fundamentally rewrote the rules in Sunbelt and Southwest metros. States like Florida and Texas had less restrictive zoning policies, so builders went absolutely crazy increasing inventory. We're talking about a construction frenzy that nobody anticipated would create this kind of oversupply. Realtor.com data shows national inventory has climbed for 23 straight months. 23 straight months, up 16.9% year over year as of September 2025. But here's the key. This surge wasn't evenly distributed. Florida and Texas markets absorbed massive new construction while buyers became increasingly rate sensitive. Meanwhile, homes are sitting on the market for 62 days now, up from just 41 days in 2021. Nearly 20% of listings saw price reductions in September 2025, according to the National Association of Realtors. The reality is beautifully simple. Oversupply meets hesitant buyers equals buyer's leverage. It's Economics 101, and it's playing out in real time. Now, let's flip the script and talk about where sellers are still absolutely dominating this market. Please take 2 seconds to help me out and hit the like and subscribe if you find this video interesting so far. Each like, subscribe, and share helps support this channel and keeps us motivated to keep making you great content. Thank you. Now, let's continue. Newark, New Jersey is leading this charge with 52% more sellers than buyers. Homes are selling above list price, going pending in just 69 days according to Redfin data. That's seller heaven right there. Remember that salary threshold I promised to reveal? Here it comes. Long Island, New York requires a staggering salary of over $242,000 to afford a median-priced home. Let me repeat that. $242,000 a year. With 40.5% more sellers than buyers and median price of $435,000, this market is absolutely brutal for buyers. Montgomery County, Pennsylvania shows 36.1% more sellers than buyers, with a median sold price of $500,000, up 10.6% year over year. These homes are flying off the market in an average of 18 days. 18 days. New Brunswick, New Jersey maintains 22.2% more sellers than buyers, with homes selling in 79 days on average. Minneapolis, Minnesota rounds out our list with 12.5% more sellers than buyers and median prices of $395,000, up 2.6% year over year. What connects all these markets? Limited new construction, tight zoning restrictions, and persistent urban demand. The Northeast and Midwest are sitting at 40 to 50% below pre-pandemic inventory levels. They simply can't build fast enough to meet demand. I know what you're thinking, and I need to address these concerns head on because we hear them in every comment section. But prices never drop. Look, historically, you're right, sure. Home prices rarely decline nationally. We've only seen two major eras of price decline in recent history. But Miami's 19% drop and Austin's 15% decline prove it absolutely can happen in specific markets. These aren't national trends, but localized corrections based on oversupply and demand shifts. The data doesn't lie. It's still unaffordable even in buyers' markets. You're not wrong there. Even with 6.85% mortgage rates and price cuts, monthly payments remain challenging. Miami's buyer's market doesn't apply to single-family homes under $500,000. They're virtually non-existent. In Florida, condo buyers are getting hammered with rising HOA fees, insurance costs, and reserve requirements that offset any price advantages. But listen, markets like Buffalo, with an average home price of $224,133, or Oklahoma City at $198,272, these offer genuine affordability for buyers with adequate incomes. Should I wait for rates to drop further? That's the million-dollar question everyone's asking us. The wait for recession camp argues lower rates and reduced competition are coming. The buy now camp counters that refinancing later is possible, but missing the market window isn't reversible. Here's what we tell everyone. Real estate experts consistently emphasize one truth. Real estate is hyperlocal. National trends don't dictate your specific market conditions. The numbers that actually matter. Let me give you the data points that should drive your decision making. National median listing price, $425,000 in flat. Average days on market, 62 days, up from 41 in 2021. Mortgage rates hovering around 6.85% for 30-year fixed. Inventory growth up 16.9% year over year for 23 straight months. Pending sales down 3%. Buyers are being cautious. Consumer sentiment, 77% believe it's a bad time to buy according to Fannie Mae. What this data reveals is a market in complete transition. Buyers have gained serious leverage in specific metros, but affordability challenges persist nationwide. Before you start celebrating Florida and Texas as buyers' havens, let us warn you about the trade-offs nobody mentions. Hurricane risk and surging insurance costs in Florida are offsetting many price advantages. Texas faces similar climate-related insurance spikes. These bargains come with hidden costs that traditional market analysis completely ignores. You're not just buying a house, you're buying into a climate risk profile that could eat into your monthly budget for decades. Let me break this down by what you're trying to accomplish. If you're buying in Miami, Austin, or other buyer-friendly markets, you finally have negotiating power. Use it aggressively. Request seller concessions. Negotiate repairs. Don't accept the first counteroffer. Make them work for your business. In sellers markets like Newark or Long Island, prepare for war and consider expanding your search radius. If you're selling in buyers markets, price realistically from day one. We see too many sellers trying to test the market with overpricing. It leads to price cuts and extended days on market. In sellers markets, you still hold advantages, but don't assume automatic bidding wars like we saw in 2021. If you're investing, buyers markets offer negotiation opportunities and higher cash flow potential. You can actually structure deals that make sense again. Sellers markets provide appreciation opportunities but require higher capital entry points. If you're renting, in buyers markets, seriously consider whether home ownership finally makes financial sense. Run the numbers carefully. In sellers markets, renting may remain the economically rational choice until conditions shift. Summer 2025 represented the strongest buyers market in over a decade. But we're watching these conditions closely because they remain fluid. Inventory continues climbing, but new construction is starting to slow as builders respond to rate sensitivity. The geographic divide couldn't be clearer. Sunbelt metros favor buyers due to oversupply, while Northeast and Midwest metros maintain seller advantages through constrained inventory. But here's what concerns us. We're seeing early signs that some buyers are getting cold feet even in favorable markets. Deal cancellation rates are rising, which tells me affordability is still the real underlying issue. Listen carefully. The 2025 housing market isn't one size fits all. If you're in Miami or Austin, you finally have negotiating power for the first time in years. Use this window because buyer advantages don't last forever. We've seen markets flip in months, not years. But here's the most important advice we can give you. Check your local market conditions. Don't rely on national headlines or even this video. Talk to a local agent who understands micro market trends specific to your neighborhood. Real estate is hyper-local, and we can't stress this enough. A national buyer's market doesn't guarantee favorable conditions in your specific zip code. And seller's market headlines don't mean you can't find opportunities if you know where to look. We want to hear from you. Drop a comment below with your city and what you're seeing in your local market. Are you experiencing the buyer's market shift, or are sellers still holding firm? Your real-world observations help everyone in this community understand these dynamics better. Hit that subscribe button for weekly housing market updates and definitely turn on notifications. These market shifts are happening faster than ever, and being informed could save you thousands or help you time your next move perfectly. The market has spoken loud and clear. Now it's your turn to act on this information. Remember, we're watching these trends closely and will keep you updated as conditions change. This isn't financial advice, but it is market intelligence you need to make informed decisions. If you found this video interesting, please subscribe, share, and watch this one as well.